Hello Pokemon trainers, welcome back to another Pokemon TCG Pocket video here on iStarly TV. So the brand new set Secluded Springs is out, and I wanted to start with a brand new deck build to kind of get you going. And this deck is focused around the new Altaria card, or Altaria. I say Altaria. This is honestly a Pokemon that I really like from Gen 3, and, you know, of course, the legendary beasts are exciting. I really want to build around them, but I feel like a lot of other people are going to have builds for those cards, so I wanted to focus on something that's a little unique, which is Altaria. So you might look at this card and it doesn't really look great at first glance, but this is a dragon Pokemon, which means it has no weakness, which can be pretty important. Of course, the downside is it means that it's also not going to be like super effective against anything, but either way, this Pokemon has Dragon Arcana, 40 damage for 2 energy, but if it has 2 or more different types of energy attached, it does 60 more damage, so it does 100 damage, which is comparable to Silvally, which can do 100 damage for 2 energy, but Silvally has 10 less HP than Altaria, so I'm not necessarily saying Altaria is better, but, you know, Altaria requires fewer cards because, you know, Silvally requires, you know, Gladion. It also requires a lot of supporters. So, yeah, I actually think Altaria is really interesting to play with the baby Pokemon. So, in this version of the deck, I'm playing Altaria with Sylveon, I was going to say Silvally. And then I'm playing one of each of Pichu and Magby. Of course, I feel like there's a lot of different ways to build it. The goal is to play Altaria with, of course, you know, multiple different types of energy. You know, you can play 3 different babies if you want. You can play Pichu, Magby, and Mantike. I should probably play a second energy here. I'm just going to randomly play Fire and Psychic, just so we have a higher chance of giving Altaria a second energy. I mean, I could get really weird and play like a completely different energy type here and maybe even play Irida, like play water, even though neither of the babies give, you know, water energy. So we have the Psychic, of course, obviously because of Sylveon, but also it makes it so that Altaria can, you know, more likely have different types of energy on it. So if you want to run something like this, I mean, again, as far as which energy you run and which babies you run, that's up to you. Also, the support, not support, but like the kind of additional Pokemon you run can also vary, because one of the decks that saw a lot of play last season was Silvally with Darkrai with some baby Pokemon. So you can also play, you can also play Darkrai in this deck instead of Eevee and Sylveon, and that of course opens the deck up for more like items and trainers and supporters. So again, there's a lot of different ways to build this deck, but for right now, this is how I've built it. But again, this has potential to be stronger than Silvally because it can do 100 damage with fewer conditions than Silvally and also a little bit more HP. As for the other cards, you know, double Pokeball makes sense, double Research is good. Maybe we could afford to play a Pokemon Communication in case we happen to draw like a baby Pokemon late game and we really want like Sylveon or Altaria. We can shuffle it away with Communication. I'm playing Red Card. I'm playing Silver. Red Card plus Silver is a really powerful combo. I actually got to Master Ball for the first time by playing, I'm not super proud of it, Darkrai Giratina last season. And Silver plus Red Card was one of the most clutch combos in my deck. And so I kind of feel like if you can afford to play these cards, you should. I'm also playing 1 copy of Leaf because Altaria requires 2 energy to retreat. And Sylveon requires 1, but, you know, in case you have a situation where you want to retreat your Altaria, you can do that, I guess, if you want to play Leaf. And then Guzma is just pretty solid because there are a lot of tool cards in the game now. I feel like every set adds like at least a couple new tool cards, it feels. So there are situations where Guzma is very, very valuable. Pokemon Center Lady makes a lot of sense. Like I said, if you want to play water energy, though, you can go ahead and swap out Pokemon Center Lady for Irida if you want. But like I said, you know, play Altaria, play some baby Pokemon, and then after that, just play whatever you want. Like, there's a lot of options. I mean, you could probably play Altaria with Silvally. That could be really interesting. Silvally, however you say it. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of show off this deck, just a little quick deck guide video. Maybe I'll do some gameplay for it tomorrow or in my next video, but I also do want to try to build other decks with some of the new cards. So let me know what you think of it. Let me know how you would build the Altaria deck. I'll kind of go ahead and show this at a glance here. Let me know how you would build this Altaria deck and what you think of it. I'm really excited to try this out, and I might end up going to the Darkrai route, but either way, this is awesome. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like, please subscribe for more Pokemon TCG Pocket videos, and I'll see you next time.